Hi there, it's Live Prepper here, and I was talking to someone about some things, and then I was talking about, there's not as many people hunting as used to be, and you hear them talking about, well, there's more women hunters. A lot of the women go because their husbands go. Really, in actuality, it's really not nearly much. There is a article on Big Game Logic, and it's called A Closer Look at the Decline in Hunter Participation. Now, I've got it in front of me so I can kind of look at it. Now, the thing is, and I'm not going to read everything on this. Let me pull this here up and you can go to it. Let me turn this around. You can see right here. I hope I got it in for you. Right here. So, what is contributing towards the decline? And I tell people, a lot of it is we're complacent. We're just gotten society, the younger generation, and even a lot of the older generation is comfortable in buying it already done for them. Many of them are great at playing the video games, shooting, hunting, traveling, whatever. It's a different type of people. You got the used to be, you would hear about, wow, man, they're going to the cabin for the weekend. And I remember growing up, I just looked forward to us say, we'd all go as a family, brothers and sisters and cousins, and we'd all pitch in together and we'd go rent a cabin for the weekend. And it was just so much fun because, we was all pitching in together. We was, enjoying ourselves. And that's what was the basis. A lot of the hunters would get together. They would rent a cabin for a week or 2 weeks or whatever, and the wives stayed at home. Most cases, not always. Sometimes the wives went, and sometimes they took the kids, whatever. But there was the hunting trips and the fishing trips and things, and you spent the summer somewhere, and that's what you did. But then when the parents and the grandparents or whatever passed away, and then the kids end up with it, and society's changed. It's people move into town more. People who has farms and things, work. It's just a big change. So the homes, their houses, the log cabins just sit there empty, and then they decide to sell them because they don't want them. They just don't need them. So that is what you're seeing more of because as society changed. As it gets easier and easier to just go to the store, and you got restaurants everywhere, it's just easy to go and do this instead of hunting. Now, the thing is that I really believe that all the foods we buy from the stores, the meats, and I like meat. I like eating it. I can go without it. I don't have to have it every day. I don't have to have it every meal. But the animals and stuff that's raised has antibiotics put into them, hormones, countless vitamins or whatever stuff in. So plus they want to make the meat last longer, so they're putting some kind of preservatives on them. They're trying to make them look good. So you're looking at all of the stuff that's in the meats when you buy them. So over wild game. Now, wild game, I really believe, is healthier. Depends on the area. But then again, the reason a lot of it is that the areas right here, it talks about one of the major factors is habitat loss. If you compare a satellite map of the United States from 1970 to the one from today, the photos are astonishing. And that's the truth. Many large farms are that is basically gone. And animals are either adapted to survive in our world of taking things over, or they perish, just how it is. You see so many roadkills on the side of the road that if it was in a different situation, you probably wouldn't see it. Now, it says just about every mainstream media source that takes the time to write an article on hunting seems to derive into this topic, the diminish of hunting. Number of hunters in 1970 was over 40 million, and that was posted hunting license. Today, number is around 12.6 million. Almost 50% of the hunters are over 47. And then a lot of it's caused by, of course, habitat loss of it, rising costs, regulations, my tip it on my tongue, and other forms of social change, I can't even speak today. Location change, and mass media and things like that. You got people that are really, really not happy with the society of commercial meats, and then you got the same token. You got people that's not happy with the hunting situation. Now, I believe wild game is better for you. But I also do not believe in trophy hunting. I do not believe in just going out to kill something other and put it on your wall like a lion or a tiger or elephant or whatever. I do not believe in it. I believe you hunt for food. I believe that using the hide that you hunt, you got. I believe in using what parts. If you have the antlers to a deer, I believe in. If you want to mount it, you mount it. If you want to use it to make knife handles or buttons or things in that area, then use it. But I do not believe in trophy hunting and killing the animal and skinning it and then leaving the rest of it there to rot, basically. I just don't believe in that. I believe if you're going to hunt your food, you need to eat it. That's how it is. So, the cost is another thing. Where gas prices are on up. Now, this article is a few years old because it's saying gas prices are back over $3.50 a gallon. Now, of course, it's not quite that high right now, but it does go up and down. Now, it's not just that. It's the cost of your license. It's the cost of travel. The cost of decoys, the stricter laws on getting ammunition, the stricter laws on what kind of guns to use. There's so many new regulations out there. One state is one way to another state. There is zones and subzones and another subzones. So it is all changed from 20, 30, 40 years ago. I really believe it will be more on a decline as it goes. I believe that as people become more acclimated to the new lifestyles, and that's another thing, I don't even know if people could survive. I mean, people want guns, but they don't want them for hunting. They want them to blow someone away with. I believe that it will continue to decrease, and in many ways, they do believe that. I don't know if it'll make a comeback or not. Small game and waterfowl hunting participation is really dropping. Small game hunting participation is down 12%, and waterfowl hunters decreased 22% in the past 20 years. Now, this here is, this here is the late 90s, 2000s. I don't know on this one here, but it says here 1990, bow hunting is also growing at a rapid pace. But, again, licensed female hunters increased by 5% from 2008 to 2009. Here you go. Licensed female hunters increased by 5%. Hunters are starting to get the picture. 77% of hunters said they are mentoring a young hunter. Now, that's that. Okay. The question is, and I hear it from a lot of people who used to hunt, or they just quit hunting or whatever reason, it's cost. I mean, unless you can afford to go out, and I would love to go to Alaska or Montana or North Dakota or Wyoming or many of these other states. I would love to get out there and be able to do some hunting. Now, do I get to hunt? No, I haven't hunted in years. It's not because I don't want to. It's because of things that goes on in my life. But I'm just saying is that I'm not beyond doing it. I would love to start. I would love to be able to hunt someday again. I really would love to. I did a little bit of rabbit hunting with my dad. I did a little bit of squirrel hunting with my dad. And that was basically the extent of the hunting that I really got to do. It does not mean that I don't respect it, but it is just a change of times. People, there may be an increase on it for women, but it's just only a 5% roughly. Again, I think as women who has increased lose whatever reason, I think a lot of women do start hunting to go with their man hunting, and then they find they enjoy it, they like it. But it says 98% of the hunters are white. In the South, that number dips into the 80s and low 90s, but there is a lot of diversity in our ranks. This is mainly due to young minorities not being given the opportunity to experience hunting for countless reasons. Yeah, I don't think it matters. I think where you live at has a lot to do with it. It really does. It has a lot to do with it. And I'm not saying on any kind of race or whatever. I think it's in the towns themselves. I think if you are not raised up in the country areas, if you're raised in a city most or all your life, you've never been outside a large city, you've never hunted in your life. So I just really feel like it says in the past 20 years, licensed hunters have increased or remained constant in 17 states. In 2010, Ohio sold a state record of 450,000 deer licenses. Deer hunting, I don't see much of a decline on. That is still the number one thing that people hunt for is deer. I would love to have some deer meat. I always tell somebody, hey, send me a packet of that deer meat if you get a deer this year. I don't ever see it. Deer hunting is still the main hunting as far as that goes. I really do believe that. Rabbit hunting is just small game. Some of them do squirrel hunting, but it seems like most of them, all they do is strictly just the deer hunting, and that's it. I do believe that I think hunting in many areas will continue to be on the decline. I think unless many of the young people are raised up in the areas and they are exposed to it, they are not going to be interested in it. If they are exposed to large cities, exposed to the video games, exposed to just the basic city life, many of them are not going to develop the skills to go hunting or interest in it. So I think it's going to continue to be on the decline. I'm not saying right now it's like over 12 million. I'm not saying we're going to go down to 1 million persons in a year's time. This is going to be a gradual thing. It may change. It may be another 20, 30 years. It may be on an increase. It may. But as long as the cost keeps going up, I do not believe in going and paying a $50,000 licensing to go kill a lion just for his skin and his head. I do not believe in going killing a rhino and just for its horns or anything, or any of the poaching stuff. I do not believe in any of that. But I do believe that hunting is on the decline. I believe it's continually on the decline. And in all honesty, I believe if things happen, if SHTF really does happen, it really goes bad. I mean, goes bad. These people are not going to know how to hunt, know how to clean an animal, know how to gut it, know what to eat, know what to do. They are going to literally starve to death and have to scavenge for whatever food, because food is going to be right in front of them. And they are not going to have the patience to go out and hunt. this food because they don't know how. It's just a change. Cabins are being sold off. There's landlocked going on where big companies are buying land up around places and will not let people through the property to get to their property. Towns and cities that was, had 15, 20,000 or 30,000 people in them are down to maybe 2,000 or 3,000 people because things have changed. People are not staying there anymore. Families are moving to bigger cities and towns in order to live and function with the temp job services and things like that. Things have just changed. It's just easier and more convenient to go to the store and buy everything you want to eat and take it home than to go out and hunt your food and spend several days out there and camping and dealing with the rain and dealing with the cold, dealing with nature. It is easier to sit there at your table or a table in front of your chair and watch a TV program from something that you just bought from the store. It is easier. So yes, I do believe hunting is on the decline, and I think it will continue to be on the decline unless things change and the attitudes change and people decide they don't want to be eating store-bought stuff anymore. It's just how it is. So check this out, Big Game Logic. It's a closer look at decline in hunter participation. It's got some good points here. I'm not going to sit here and read everything to you. Like I said, it says how hunting is making a comeback, but I don't. Still, it's decreased. I just think. I think it's going to continue to be on a decline. I think you're not going to see nearly as many young people hunting. Now, they may decide to do it when they get older. They may decide that they don't want store-bought stuff no more. Things can change. But the baby boomers, once the baby boomers are gone, that are hunting now, that are still able to hunt, I believe the decline will be even more. So this is Life Prepper here saying be safe, be happy. Bless you all.